Audio presents In the Blood of the Greeks, Intertwined Souls Series Book 1 by Mary D. Brooks. Performed by Arielle Strauss Brueland. Audio engineering by the XV Podcasters. Copyright 2020 Mary D. Brooks. Production copyright 2021 by Ozip Publishing. Chapter 1. To my adopted, courageous grandmother who survived Auschwitz-Birkenau, Evelyn Elefan, and to my grandfather and former Greek resistance member from Larissa, Greece, Kyriakos Mitsos. You have fought the good fight. You have finished the course. You have kept the faith. May you rest in peace in God's embrace. April 16th, 1941. Pharsala, Prefecture of Larissa, Thessaly, Greece. Thunder boomed overhead and across the valley as the night sky was lit up with exploding artillery shells in the hills surrounding the small farming town of Pharsala, 38 kilometers from the central city of Larissa. This ancient town was the scarred battlefield between the Allies, who were defending the town, and the oncoming juggernaut that was the German army. When the Italians tried to invade Greece, the invaders had been pushed back into Albania. Great jubilation had resulted in a celebration that stretched for days. In the town, the pride over the news that the Italians had been beaten back flourished amidst the sorrow for the fallen. But after the euphoria of the victory against the Italian invaders had faded, the Greek government realized that the Axis powers had not been defeated, only stalled. The government stumbled from one crisis to another, trying to stave off the inevitable. What they feared the most happened in the spring of 1941, a day that many Greeks had been anxiously anticipating for months. The Germans had arrived at the outskirts of Larissa and were raging through the hills and valleys like hungry locusts. The British, Australian, and New Zealand soldiers kept the Germans at bay until they could hold them no longer, and now a retreat was in progress. Burning cars, trucks, and bodies of soldiers and Greeks littered the roadways as the battles continued. A young girl stood outside and listened to the sounds of war, falling shells, and the rumble of tanks thundering in the background. Zoe Lambros looked up into the heavens for a long moment, closed her eyes, and prayed to God for victory. She crossed herself on finishing a prayer she was confident God would listen to. He had to. He was on their side. Zoe was barely 5 feet 4 inches, with a slight frame. Her long, curly red hair reached her waist, and green eyes, her father had said, reminded him of emeralds in the sunlight. Her slender frame hid a determined spirit, and one that desperately wanted to head to the hills and fight the Germans, just like her heroine, Laskarina Bubalina, in the War of Liberation against the Turks. A loud explosion made Zoe jump, as the noise reverberated through the night. "Oh! That must have destroyed several of those German tanks." Zoe noticed that Zeus, their plow horse, was standing next to the wagon. She wasn't sure why the horse was out so late, and she walked a few yards to the animal. "Loud night for you, Zeus," she said, and patted the horse. The horse shoved his head toward Zoe, and she giggled at the animal's playful nature. "I am absolutely sure that the Germans will be defeated. We defeated the Turks in 1821. Then the Italians. Now it is the Germans who will feel the full force of our brothers. God is on our side. And as Father Haralambos often says in church, if you have God on your side, you don't need anyone else. Zoe? Come inside, child." Helena Lambros, a slim red-headed woman with sparkling emerald-colored eyes, came out of the farmhouse and put her arm around her daughter's shoulders. "I was talking to Zeus, Mama. I think we are winning. Listen to those rockets. That's the Allies. They are winning, and we are beating those horrible Germans like we beat the Italians."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?